My name is Cacey Nicole Bobra.
Caleb Montgomery Utter. I was born in Ormond Beach, Florida, raised in Utica, Nebraska.
And when were you born?
March 12, 1998.
I was born in Lincoln, Nebraska, September 8th, 1997. Grew up in Beaver Crossing, Nebraska. I went to K through 12 in Utica, Nebraska at Centennial.
Went to school at Centennial Public Schools. Well, first I went to St. Paul Lutheran in elementary, and for high school we went to Centennial.
I think we always decided we first met in junior high track. So I would be an 8th grader and he was a 7th grader. And St. Paul kids came to do track with us, I believe. And so I kind of met him in passing during track season. First thing I really noticed of him, he had a lot of friends that were girls that were around him. So I figured he must be a nice person, and whenever we saw each other in passing or something, he was always a nice person, always said hello, always had lots of bubbly energy.
Honestly, I had met her and I knew who she was, but I hadn't really seen her as a option, as a potential dating person, because we were just kind of in all the same things, and she was just one of the people that was there at Centennial when I would go for junior high stuff. So I didn't really know exactly who she was. She was just kind of in that blend of Centennial people from when I went to St. Paul. But then when I first started going to Centennial, and I actually recognized or really saw her, then I remember thinking that she was really cool and really fun. But I was like, no way would she ever date me. So.
It was actually kind of through a mutual friend. We had to go somewhere for band, and because I liked Caleb first, and I told her that. I thought he was a really nice person and just someone I wanted to get to know better and just someone I saw potential with. And we started then sitting together on the bus. She made him sit with me for a band or show choir competition or something like that. Then after that we just started talking a lot more, and I think at that point we exchanged phone numbers, and then started texting more, and then whenever we had to go somewhere for a competition, for show choir or one act or whatever it was, we always sat together, and that's how it grew, I guess.
We were some crazy, stupid high school kids, for sure. We were very all over each other and very much about each other all the time. We would always sit next to each other on the rides to different performances. We was always try to find in our performances, if we weren't characters who were together in the plays, we'd find a way to somehow put us together somewhere throughout the show, whether it was at the end or in passing in the show. She played bass and I played trap set for jazz band, so we were in the rhythm section. So we'd show up. She'd give me rides some days to early morning stuff when I wasn't old enough to drive my car, and then I started being a track student manager to help with track because I liked student managing and I didn't want to run track, but also I helped with high jump, which was her event. So I mainly helped her. The other dude high jumpers didn't really need help, so I mainly just kind of helped her and the coach figure stuff out, and filmed and showed her where she needed to get better form. But yeah, we'd spend almost every free moment together that we could and talked all the time.
Okay, and then you dated for how long?
It was almost 3 years. I feel like my timeline. I think it was almost 3 years because it would have been my sophomore year, then my junior, fall of my junior year was 1 year, then fall of my senior year was 2 years. So then fall of his senior year would have been 3, but we broke up a little bit kind of when I went off to basic, and then we kind of got back together when I got back in the summertime. So all in all, about 3 years, I would say.
And then we split up. She went to basic training for military, and we had some issues before that, and we split up for a while, and got back together after we got back together right before she went to basic. So like we split up at the end of her senior year, had some issues, back together right before she left for basic training at the start of my senior year, and then she was gone for half of it, and then I had some more issues when she got back. Split up after my senior year.
We kind of kept our distance for at least a year, if not 2 years, and then I kind of reached out just to see how he was and to just catch up. And so then we reached out, and he reached out back, and then we just started becoming friends again. And we played a lot of like online games together again through our PlayStation, and through that we just kept talking. And at the time we started talking again, just as friends. Like he was dating someone and I was dating someone, so wasn't any sort of mutual feelings or things like that, just more of a friendship. Then we each broke it off at different times with our person we were dating at that time, and then him and I just kept talking, and then we're like, why not? We go on a date, and we'll officially call it a date, and we both had an amazing time, and we went on a second date and a third date, and then we just called it official after that.
Just started talking a lot through that, and started going to the same church, and we're really just looking to be really good friends. And then it just we kind of realized that we've had these feelings in us the whole time, and we're just trying to ignore them. But I think we had to go through that to learn how to properly love each other and care about each other, and we had to see what it was like with other people and the things we weren't willing to give up, and the things we really needed in a significant other. And yeah, we really just started trying to put that focus in the relationship and on God and on how to best love each other rather than what we needed from the relationship, and it blossomed into our marriage.
Okay. So I was at officer training for the Army back this past January, February, and we weren't planning on getting married this soon. We have already talked about it. We've been talking about it for several months, that it's something it eventually is our goal, and we're hoping to get engaged by the end of this year was the goal.
Well, first she was supposed to leave in October, so we were thinking it was going to be officer school right into flight school. So we were thinking, okay, so you're going to leave in October, we've got a year and a half, then come back and we'll really see where this relationship can go. Then, because of COVID stuff, pushing everything back, she wasn't going to leave till January for officer school. And then she was coming back for like a month and a half, and then she was leaving again for flight school for over a year. And so we had like 3 extra months where we could talk. And during that time, we really grew our relationship. And
we're looking at the timeline of getting engaged by the end of this year, then after getting engaged, then waiting another year for a year and a half because of COVID and people pushing off their weddings to get a venue and get a place booked. So we were looking at maybe another 2.5 to 3 years to actually being officially married, and we just didn't want to wait that long.
I've wanted to marry her since June. I knew this last year, and maybe even before that, but June was the first time I actually wrote something down about it. And so I've been treating her this whole year like she's going to be my wife someday. I felt really strongly in my heart that I needed to start preparing for an engagement of some kind. So I did, and I got everything set up for the weekend after she got home. And almost partway halfway through her officer's training, we get to talking about it, and she brings up something. She's like, well, I really hope you don't propose soon because I don't think I'm quite ready. And I was like, oh, well, okay. I guess I won't. But then I was like, okay, no, God said this for a reason. I'm going to trust it. So I still had things kind of prepared in my mind. I was working on a ring. And then she gets her phone back after flight school stuff, and she calls me and says, hey, I got something I really want to talk to you about. It's super exciting, and I think I really realized it this last week of officers training. So she gets home, and the night she gets back, we talk about it, and she's like, hey, I really think I want to get married. I said, okay, I do too. I think you're the person I want to marry. We decided that middle of February. So I was like, okay, I'll propose officially. You can have the ring, but let's plan what day works.
So we made a decision to get married in 38 days, and that made the decision also that he would come with me down to flight school to help me and support me, and so we didn't have to spend this year apart.
She goes, how about let's push this as far as we can, and let's do it April 3rd, because then I have to leave in 2 days after that well, originally the plan was to leave the next day, but for flight school for Alabama. So we're like, okay, so we're not only planning a wedding in a month, we're also planning to uproot both of our lives down to Alabama. And I was like, no, you know what? Yeah, I'm ready. Biggest adventure I think that I could go on. I planned an engagement, a wedding, and a move all in 38 days.
So this is our year to grow that much more together, and it's going to be hard, but it's going to be really good for us and to depend on each other in this first year of marriage, especially being so far away from home and family and friends. But we're excited, and we are confident in each other to support each other.
Okay, what do you remember from the wedding?
Oh, we actually remember?
Yeah.
I remember being nervous as heck to see her, and I remember any time that I heard her voice or held her hand, I would tear up, and I could not. It was really tough for me to stay composed enough. During the prayer, I was like,
That was rough.
yeah.
But in a good way, we're just excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember the music for me to walk down the aisle started too soon, and Noah had you turn around way too soon, and I was like, no, wait. And I'm like, well, too late now. And my dad was still carrying my dress, and I'm like, let it go. And I was kind of slapping his hand away to drop my dress, and then he didn't know where to put his arm, and I'm like, be normal, just put your arm up, and then I had to link it, and this whole time Caleb has already seen me. I've been halfway already down the aisle. But I remember that just because I'm always going to remember that now, because that was just, I thought that was really funny. But then after we finally got composed and I got the chance to look up, and I saw Caleb's face and how you were cheering him. Yeah.
And I remember on the reception, just people's faces, all of our friends and our family were there, and it was just really cool to see how happy they were for us, and for them to be able to support us.
When What do you think about it's your first house? This is a big step.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm so happy with it. I'm excited. I think it's definitely plenty of space for both of us because I put in the application and everything for this place, and I was gonna live here by myself before we decided to get married and have him come down with me. So my biggest thing, kind of what convinced me that this was God's plan for us, is actually when the realtor was, we were walking through the house, and she had to do it over her phone just because timing didn't work for me to come see it in person. But she was showing me just how big this place actually is, and then I saw the his and hers sink in the master bathroom, and then that did it for me. I'm like, nope, I can't live here alone. I need to have Caleb here with me. So I'm just excited that, yeah, we're finally going to live together and do life together every single day, and I'm going to get to come home to him every single day. And yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. It's a very nice first home. It's
Newly renovated.
yeah, newly renovated. It's military-wise all paid for, which is super dope.
Mhm.
Like, so we literally just get to plan out our finances and get ready for buying our first home. Hopefully, when we get back in Lincoln. So that's crazy. Like, we're so blessed that we get to do that. It's huge.
Like, we're the only ones on the block that have this type of door
Mhm.
with the nice glass and the nice wood and stuff like that. And then we have new wood floors and new appliances and new, each bathroom is newly renovated. So it's really nice. I feel a little spoiled, honestly.
Yeah.
But
And I get to cook. I'm excited to cook.
yeah,
Meals.
our kitchen's a little small, but it'll be good.
But yeah, one thing to tell each other, like, I mean, I don't know, we already talk all the
You
time.
can't tear up. It's not fair.
Who?
Your dad.
Because that makes you tear up?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have mine if you want me to go first.
Yeah.
Tell you that it's not fair.
Because he already teared up.
Yeah, now I'm going.
Yeah, we're both some sympathetic crowds.
No, I was going to tell you that I'm extremely thankful for you, and that I'm thankful for you for the rest of my life, but especially this next year, that you're going to be here to help me and support me in a time when I'm going to need it a lot, being away from family and friends, and so I'm thankful that you're here with me to just do this year with me and keep me company. Be my biggest cheerleader, my hype man.
Yes.
Keep me in line.
Keep you in line.
Yeah, keep me disciplined, do my homework, and get all that good
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
done on time, not slack off. And yeah, so I'm extremely thankful that you're here with me.
I say that, yeah, just to let you know that I'm very excited for this year. It's going to be a lot of change. I mean, it already is, like, both of us being away from our families, but there's nobody else I'd rather do it with, and I'm very glad that I get to be here to support you, and I'm really excited to see where this year takes us and what you do in high school. And like I said, like, this is your year to do your stuff, and I'm gonna be here to support you and guide you. But just know that you can always come to me with any concerns, and I'm here for you. And I love you very much. You're my best friend. Yeah.
Aww.